So, hello guys, and welcome back to another talk show in our channel, and welcome back to another discussion that we're going to have today. Our discussion today is we're going to do a lot of analysis, but majorly we are going to look at the preview for the Carabao Cup, and we're also going to look at the latest footballing news. There has not been much news from Chelsea, although we are going to also understand why football is actually recalling a lot of players from loans. We are seeing a lot of players being recalled from loans. So these are some of the few things that we are going to try and look at. So far, we are seeing Moreira has been recalled back from loan. Santos has been recalled back from loan. Casade is also being recalled back from loan. So there's a lot of questions on what's really happening at Chelsea, and a lot of questions on why are players being recalled on loan. We're going to do a preview and an in-depth preview, which I've already done. I've done a tactical preview on what I expect the game between Chelsea and Middlesbrough to look like, and the score prediction as well as everything else that I expect to take part in that game. But we're going to do a brief analysis on that. Also, another thing that I want us to check is we're going to check about we're going to look at the AFCON Cup. We're going to try to analyze AFCON and see how things are going. So let me check here. Yeah, search. Uh, s- hello, hello, sir. There's a sir here on Instagram who wants to say anything. Okay, it's not joined yet. So I was trying to say that also going to look at we're going to look at AFCON. So AFCON yesterday, South Africa managed to beat Namibia 4-0. That was a really, really good performance by South Africa. Today we have Guinea-Bissau and Nigeria who are also squaring it out. We have Equatorial Guinea who are also playing today, and we have Mozambique and Ghana also going in this AFCON fixture today, and Cape Verde for Egypt. And when you talk about Egypt, the main thing we're going to look at when we are discussing Egypt, we're going to look at Mohamed Salah, and we're going to see what is the impact of Mohamed Salah and what happens now that Mohamed Salah is actually missing from the AFCON championship. So we begin with Chelsea Middlesbrough. So Chelsea Middlesbrough, we're going to talk about uh, the problems that are currently Chelsea are facing playing alongside Middlesbrough, and the problem is that Chelsea actually are going into this second leg 1-0 down. And the problem with this is that now Chelsea are finding themselves in a position of conflict because now they know very well that a team is coming to the bridge and it's going to organize itself in a bank of 5 and 4. So you're going to have 9 men behind the ball today. So it's going to be it's not going to be an entertaining game that people are expecting it to be, but it's going to be more passive. Chelsea are going to have majority of the ball. Chelsea are going to have majority of the time on the ball, with Middlesbrough just looking to capitalize on Chelsea through the counter attack. So the main focus of the game is not just the tactical side of the game, but also the implications. Because when Chelsea fail to qualify to the finals, when they have an easy draw such as Middlesbrough, then questions are going also to be asked on Maurizio Pochettino. How is his capacity to actually coach a team? Mm? Is he the man to take Chelsea to the next level? Is he the man to carry the mantle for Chelsea to a position where Chelsea can actually compete for the big honors such as the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and other top European trophies? So the question today is, can Chelsea actually manage to beat Middlesbrough? So far, I've not seen the press conference from Maurizio Pochettino. It should happen today. We have to look at the injury issues to know whether Christopher Nkunku is ready and available to play this game. Also, players such as Kani, who was seen back in training. What is the state of Benotti Badiashile? Is he okay to play this game? And also other questions that we're going to try and address in these kinds of departments, especially when dealing with Chelsea, Chelsea questions. So the preview in this game, we're going to look at the lineups, and I already did my pre-match lineup. And my pre-match lineup, I was talking about. I want to share my screen of where I did the, 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 the Chelsea video. I want to share my screen there. Going to look at the lineup. So, which lineup have I picked, and why have I picked this lineup? So, let me try to share the screen, please. Give me a minute. So, yeah, yeah, here's the screen. So, I've done a video on it. So let me try to check it out, please. Just a minute. Okay, let me share the screen. So let me share the screen. If you can have any questions in the comment section, and I will be open and willing to answer them as we look at this. This is my video that I have done today on the analysis, and I have maintained to say that Petrovic needs to maintain his position as the number one. That is the thing that I've maintained in this live stream. I've maintained that Petrovic needs to maintain his position. He's very composed compared to Robert Sanchez. He's very astute. He commands his box area perfectly. And the one thing that I really like about Petrovic is his ability to read the game. He knows his positioning. He knows where to be. When he receives the ball, he already knows where to pass. Though his long balls are not quite great, but he does the basics, especially when you're playing from back. I've gone with in my lineup. I've picked Thiago Silva and Disasi. Actually, they are the only centre backs pairing that we can have. Or maybe have Disasi and Colwill, but I don't believe Colwill and Disasi have formed that chemistry the way Silva has formed that chemistry with Disasi. Then the fullbacks here is where all the problems come in, and in the fullbacks area, I've focused on the left back. And when I'm talking about the left back, we know what we have witnessed recently. And what we have witnessed recently is the position of Ben Chilwell. Gusto most likely will play because Rhys James is not there. But Ben Chilwell, will Pochettino insist on playing Ben Chilwell as a left winger? Or will Pochettino play Ben Chilwell as a what do we call, will he play him as a more of a left back? And I would like him to play more of a left back because we're actually facing a team that thrives, a team that thrives in playing these kinds of games. So Chelsea are going to play against a lower block team, a team that just is coming to sit behind the ball. So Middlesbrough are going to allow Chelsea to have the ball, allow Chelsea to have possession. Their main aim will be trying to beat Chelsea through the counter attack. So the question is, will Chelsea fortify? Will Chelsea be able to create a deadlock? Because if Chelsea score a goal earlier on, then this will now push Middlesbrough to open up. But if Chelsea become more frustrated, then Middlesbrough will get the opportunity to actually launch a counter attack and beat Chelsea. As well as another thing that I wanted to say in this game is that we're also going to look at the roles of the fullbacks. The two fullbacks will be quite important. If Ben Chilwell and Gusto are playing, you have two outlets down the wide areas. Both of them know how to underlap. Both of them know how to overlap. So you're able to gauge. You're able to be unpredictable in the attack because both of them are quite unpredictable in their movement. Some of them might decide to overlap. Others might decide to underlap. So when you have two natural fullbacks attacking the byline, you have an extra threat in that kind of position. Now compare that if you have Colwill in this team. When you have Colwill in this team, when he's advancing forward, you don't have that attacking threat that you would like to have. But when you have Chilwell there, you're guaranteed that you're going to have some attacking threat down the left wing. The same goes with Gusto. Gusto will play really well when played down the right. Now, my question now is: will Pochettino prefer to play Chilwell as a left back, or will he insist on playing Chilwell as a left winger? And playing him as a left winger when you have Sterling who can play there, Mudrik who can play there, Madueke who can play down the right and create space for a preferential winger for Pochettino will be important because Chilwell is not good in dribbling 1v1. and therefore should not be played down the left wing. Now let's move on to midfield. So in midfield, I picked Enzo and Sebe. So you have two excellent ball playing central midfielders. So Enzo can use his long range, his lofted balls, so the balls over the top that Enzo likes to play. So he can use those lofted balls over the top and attempt to play those balls for the runs of, especially when Broja or Palmer is dropping deep, pulling out centre backs out of position. Then uh, Enzo can be good at picking those runners behind. Maybe Raheem Sterling is making that diagonal run behind a centre back who has been pulled out of position. Then the best player that you expect to be in that position is Enzo. Enzo is a player who's able to be playing those balls in those spaces. Same case with Caicedo. Now with Caicedo, he's not. He knows how to pick overlapping fullbacks. That is something that I saw in recent games. His passing is one of the best passers in the team, and his main aim is usually to pick fullbacks. He knows, he can see when a fullback is actually overlapping behind a winger, and he knows how to play those balls in the channel. So if Raheem Sterling is cutting in, and then Raheem Sterling plays the ball back to Caicedo can be able to pick those balls behind for the runs of the overlapping wingers. So, and then when he finds himself in that kind of position, then you have a situation whereby Caicedo now, a fullback, for example, Gusto or Chilwell can attempt crosses. And this game is a precursor for the game that is going to be played at Anfield. So having the two fullbacks engaged in this game will be a key role, especially for both Enzo and Caicedo. And Caicedo needs to build up his confidence because in the Premier League game, when he's going to play at Anfield, he's going to be one of the most booed players on the pitch. I think whenever he touches the ball, the entire cop will be around him. So that is also another important facet that he should practice on. Then we have I had selected my attacking midfielder, so I had gone with Cole Palmer. So we're going with a more attack-minded team because you're going to face a lower block. So what do you want? What you want is you want as many players in the team. So you want many players in the team. You want your Raheem Sterlings in the team. You want your Mikhailo Mudrik, Mando Broja. So Cole Palmer plays in behind. So he plays in behind the attack. He plays as the farthest midfielder in the number 10. And his main area of focus will not just be in the number 10 position, the free role. No, but rather his main point of focus will be playing behind the Broja, acting more of a second striker, a player who can receive the ball in tight spaces and attempt to play those penetrative through balls for runners, especially when Mudrik is cutting in from the left and Sterling is cutting in from the right. You have a player who's able to serve them those balls. So I went for Mudrik for Cole Palmer to play in that number 10. The wide areas have gone with Raheem Sterling down the right, Mikhailo Mudrik down the left. And I believe Mudrik has an excellent passing range. He's good. He's good with his passing. His dribbling is not quite great. His finishing is also not quite great when he's playing down the left. But Mudrik likes to cut in and then attempt to play those penetrative passes through those channels. They're saying, Tony, I've allowed you to come in, but I'm not seeing you. You're not coming in. I've allowed you to come in. I'm not able to find you entering the live stream. So have you tried entering the live stream? So I'm explaining about Modric. So Modric, the main strength that Modric gives the team is his ability to cut in and attempt to make those through balls, especially if you have players such as Broja and Raheem Sterling making those late runs, then you'll benefit from Modric. Then if you have a fullback who's overlapping Modric, that's why I say that Ben Chilwell needs to play as the left back. So if Ben Chilwell is overlapping Modric, then Modric is able to have a fullback who's helping him to deal with the wide overloads down the left. So I believe Modric is okay. Raheem Sterling is good on either side. He's deadly when playing as a left winger. But I did not see if Madueke. Tony, I've given you the permission. Nimekupatia permission hapo. Can you kindly check? Kindly check. Have you joined? I don't know what's wrong. Should admit you already. We are doing a preview between Chelsea and Middlesbrough currently. So you should be able to join the link. I've sent you the. I've accepted your request. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me click it again to see the request. You should be joining. Think you have issues with your internet. So Noni Madueke in this kinds of position, he's more of a person who likes to attack the byline. So he does not generate the space for the fullback so that the fullback can try to overlap. This is creating a lot of problems for the club. Now, the striking position I've gone with Broja. The previous game we did not have a striker, the first leg of the semi-finals. So this time we need to have a striker, more aerial threat, a more physical striker. Broja needs to be more proactive, needs to attempt more shots on goal. He needs to face the goalkeeper, and he needs to be more confident in possession. There will be a lot of crosses sweep, so his movement will be quite important, and he should be able to unlock the deadlock for Chelsea when playing at home. So that is my lineup for this game. I also did an analysis how I explained how Chelsea will be facing a deep block. Explained the role of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo playing slightly behind the two banks where they can use their passes to pick runners, and explained the reason why both fullbacks need to be committed forward so that Chelsea can have as many as 8 or 7 players attacking Middlesbrough. Because if you have this much number of players flooding, then you'll expect the other team to also commit a lot of players defensively. So this already takes away the other team's attacking threat and gives your team more plethora of opportunity. Remember yesterday's game between Liverpool and Bournemouth. So the tactical change that Klopp made in the midfield when he decided to have Gomez coming in field, and he shifted Nunes from the left and brought him to the middle, and also shifted Jota from the Jota was playing from the middle. Then he put him to play down the right and Luis Diaz down the left. You saw how that tactical change by the club made Liverpool to destroy Bournemouth. So when you also have that compared to also having fullbacks who are overlapping, in that case, Liverpool did not have either both Trent and Robertson or Trent and Simicas. So you had there's a boy called Bradley who's advancing down the right, and there's a there's another who Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones was holding the width down the left. So you need to have as many players in attack so you can stifle that. Because Michael Carrick is going to arrange the team in a more defensive 5-4-1. You're going to expect one of the most boring uh, football games you're going to see. And if players such as Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo do not manage to get the ball to the forward line, you're going to see a very stale performance. So you need to have wingers and midfielders dropping from the forward line, dragging centre backs and full backs out of position so that they can create spaces in the back line where the opposition, where the likes of Sterling and Mudrik can be making those diagonal runs that attempt to score those goals. Now, on to another topic that is not the game. So this game, I've told you, if Chelsea manage to lose this game, then Pochettino out will trend. So just know that. Chelsea lose the game, Pochettino out. Chelsea win the game, we should have won that game. So it's not a win for Pochettino in either way. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Manchester United new CEO. So Manchester United's new CEO, I want to share some of the scripts that he was doing. So let me share. Let me share some of the. Let me share the screen. So Man United's new CEO is from Manchester City. They have actually signed a rival. They've signed a rival executive into the Manchester United board. So United having a chief executive officer involved in sporting matters is a departure from the predecessor, Richard Arnold, who delegated the responsibility of football director John Mataf. Arnold felt he wasn't qualified to influence that area, but Ratcliffe believes the person running the club today should be comfortable engaging in the primary function of the football club. So the Manchester City COO, who's also coming in to be the Manchester United CEO, is familiar with the game. He understands what is required on the pitch compared to the former Manchester United's CEO. We had this Manchester United's previous CEO called Eddie Woodward, who actually resigned this season. He was also not quite familiar with the footballing aspect of the business, but this one is more familiar. But the problem with this guy is not his job. The problem with this guy is the tweets he used to make. The tweets that he used to make was he's called Omar Berrada. Let me give you some of the tweets he used to make. His job is good. He can be able to transform Manchester United from a footballing perspective, but his tweets were hilarious. Let me share some of the tweets so that you can be able to see. I think the likes of Gary Neville, uh, players such as Gary Neville will be so shocked because a lot of Manchester United fans expect that key Manchester United players will be the ones who will come in and take up key roles and key positions at the football club. But it's looking like the Ineos are actually going for people who are more dedicated. And this is after the Manchester United take over this season. You can see that Ineos this first approach to Berada was made by Ineos. So it is actually the new Manchester United uh, boss who has come in, the new major shareholder at Manchester United, who made this new move. You wanted somebody who's more technically equipped to handle both the business side of the club as well as the footballing side of the club. So Ineos Sir Dave Bracefold in December, a meeting followed with Sir Jim Ratcliffe before the summit involving the Glazers. So also the Glazers were involved in this deal in which Manchester United actually had to pick up. This is a rival. Remember, this guy called Omar is a rival because he was a CFO for Manchester United's rival, which is Manchester City. So if Manchester United are able now to bring a rival to head the footballing department, it's quite interesting. This guy, by the way, has a lot of tweets mocking Manchester United. A lot of tweets him mocking Manchester. And he has started mocking Manchester United not recently. He started mocking Manchester United way before when Manchester United were playing in Champions Leagues with Chelsea and other teams. So it's something that he has carried quite a while. So it looks like Ineos are really concerned about the performances of Manchester United on the pitch rather than the business side of Manchester United. So it's a good news for Manchester United fans. However, this is not quite one of the best news for his jumping ship. Definitely, he's jumping ship from Manchester City to Manchester United. Remember, this guy here,
seen anything like this. This is a club that not that long
a
ago.
person who has contributed immensely towards the success of Manchester City. So he's somebody who's coming from a football club that is used to winning, and he's wanting to bring that winning philosophy to the red side of Manchester. So the question is are Manchester United fans open and willing to have this guy head their club? This is only a question that Manchester United fans can answer, but from a business point of view, it looks like it's a great signing. But from the fan base, the problem is with the fan base of how this guy has really heavily laid a lot of criticism for Manchester United throughout the years. So that was the second thing that I was talking about. The third thing that I was talking about is the Chelsea loan spell, the loan spell by Chelsea, and the loan spell by Chelsea. We are going to look at Maurizio Pochettino hopes that Cesare Casadei will immediately boost Chelsea's training level in a crucial week, which could define their season. Meaning that Pochettino is recalling a lot of players from injury, from loan, because we have a lot of injuries. I don't know what's happening with the medical department. A lot of players are injured. Kane is injured. Leslie is injured. There's a lot of fatigue with a few players who are playing, and I don't understand how this injury is going to happen. These injuries are taking place when the team is not actually playing in the Champions League, neither is the team playing in other European competitions. So we have Moreira has come back, Santos is back, Casade is back. So we have I've had close to 5 players who have been recalled from loan spells. So now you're having a very bloated squad. Now, what happens when key players return? What happens when your Nkukus are back? Kanich Gomeka is back. You have players such as Leslie who are back. So what happens to the team? Also, this might also raise questions on the future of Conor Gallagher. Maybe Conor Gallagher is about to be dispatched to go to Spurs so that the club can recover some fee to balance the books. Remember, Everton so far has been penalized twice by the Premier League because of financial fair play, and also Nottingham Forest, who are also being penalized. So Chelsea might try to maintain their books, or else Chelsea will be the ones facing a point deduction at the end of the season. We can also see that Ian Matson has departed on loan. Fofana has also departed on loan to Burnley. So these are key players. Recalls, we have Saday, Santos, and Moreira. So I don't know how these players are being called back because I don't expect Casaday to play against. I don't expect him to play against Aston Villa. Neither do I expect him to play against Liverpool or to play against Middlesbrough. But he's a good player. In preseason, he was a very good player for Chelsea. Now, also have other key stories such as the African Cup of Nations that took place. And I was when I was talking about the African Cup of Nations, I was looking at the game between South Africa and Namibia, where South Africa managed to win 4-0, and that is quite important because we are seeing it's quite interesting. AFCON is quite interesting this time, and we have some scintillating games. The key question from these performances is where is Mohamed Salah? So Mohamed Salah has actually been recalled by Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp confirmed that yesterday that Salah has been recalled. He's currently at Liverpool undergoing major medical. He's going through a lot of medical help to look at the muscle issue that he has because Salah is quite important for Liverpool because Liverpool are actually competing for the Premier League title. But the question is, but Liverpool have also confirmed that if Salah becomes ready, they will not hold him back from going to play the quarterfinals with Egypt. But generally, they are giving their player a preferential treatment, so they are protecting their player. And this is a lot of questions because does Liverpool really respect the competition? And Egypt have agreed to send Salah back to Liverpool, and that's a situation that we are going to try to look at. We have also seen Onana who came in late. So let's look at the results from yesterday. So these are some of the results that happened yesterday. So we saw Algeria. Algeria went 2-2 with Burkina Faso, and Angola won against Mauritania, and Mali drew together with Tunisia. South Africa thrashed Namibia. Morocco drew with the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia drew also with the Republic of Tanzania. Those are some of the key features of AFCON. So we're going to do more live streams, and tomorrow we're going to have a show. So tomorrow we are going to have post-match show between about the game between Chelsea and Middlesbrough. So if you've stayed with us till the end of this live stream, thanks for watching, and see you again.